Hey, Danny, good to see you.
Hey, Justin.
Coach Patricia was asked today about Robert Prince and what he means to the receiving group. When we talk to Robert, he doesn't say a whole lot, but you do see a more animated coach on the field, a guy that participates. You've been around a lot of receiving coaches in this game. What has he meant to you in your 2 years here and helping you, I guess, still develop at your age?
One of the best coaches I've ever had. Brings the juice every single day, gets guys in the right mentality, day in and day out, meetings, practice, games, and an amazing coach to play for. I love him to death. Really, really happy to be playing for him.
We saw him out there today when you guys were doing the tracking drills on the deep ball, running a route. Looks like he might be able to get out there and take a few snaps on Sunday.
No question. Best in shape 55-year-old I've ever met in my life. We work out together usually every other day in the weight room, and he's incredible.
Kyle?
Hey, Danny. Thanks for your time. How has Matthew Stafford looked in camp? I think we almost take it as a given, some of the things that he can do. But every day he's out there slinging it. How has he been in camp?
He looks great, healthy. Arm is live. He's hungry. He's ready to go. Can't wait to watch him in games. So, he's the leader of our team. We love playing for him, love playing hard for him. And, he is a great teammate. So we're all excited to watch him get out there and play.
And I have one more question for you. The play action element of the offense last year was pretty successful. And I was curious your perspective on why it was so good. Just that component of the offense, I guess.
I mean, it's definitely a vital part of any offense, really. Have the ability for the linebackers to bite on a run play and then throw it behind them, and it's just something that we like to utilize, something that we love to call, and we're going to try to do some more of it. So just keep working at it.
Justin?
We only get the on-field snapshots of practice, but Jamal Agnew really seems like he's thriving in this new role, especially today. Was moving the chains all day. You see him obviously in a much larger context behind the scenes. How impressed have you been as a veteran with how, I guess, seamless it seems this transition's going for him?
A great athlete. Kid catch the ball. He can run well. He's learning the little nuances of playing receiver, and man, it's great to have him. And he's, you see what he does in the kicking game, and anytime he gets the ball in his hands, he's a danger. So I'm really excited to be, teaming up on the same side of the ball. I went against him a lot last year, and developed a strong working relationship with him last year. Got a lot of reps together, and now we can kind of talk about why we do some of the things we do now on the same side of the ball. So again, great athlete. It's going to be huge for us this year.
Go two more with Rothstein, then Dave.
Danny, kind of following on that a little bit, can you see where maybe making a transition from corner can actually help Jamal as far as once he gets maybe a lot of the kind of the basics of receiver down? Is there something that he can maybe take from that?
It's great because he can tell all of us what the defense is calling. And then also, he understands, the leverages of defenders and how to manipulate that within the route. And, that's something that you can really take from playing in NFL games on the defensive side of the ball and use to your advantage at the receiver position. So, he's got a natural, ability to run and catch, and, he's a great teammate too. So we'll see how it goes.
And one non-football question, with everything that's gone on this week within your team and obviously around the league and around the NBA, what's this been like for you?
For me, it's, first of all, it's obviously very saddening to see what's going on in our world. And, all we can do is stick together and try to make a big as a statement as we can as a team, as a family, as a community, to get rid of evil and just spread the light of positivity around the world. And, we love to use, our platform as an organization and as a league to spread that positivity and, just to embrace family. So that's what we did last a couple days ago when we sat practice out, and hopefully that message got across. So
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Go one more with Dave.
Hey, Danny, good to see you. I was just curious, now that we're kind of through the preseason here, you went through, preseasons years ago when those preseason games were super important to you and making a team and making an impression. And obviously as a vet, maybe you don't need them quite as much. What do you think about this preseason? Could it be here to stay without games? Just your evaluation of what's gone on so far and where it's put you guys to get ready for the regular season.
I mean, every rep really in practice is in place of these preseason games this year. So, it's high competitive here in practice. And as players, we understand this year is special. And you really have to do a lot as a young player to stand out, and you don't get those games, which is unfortunate. As a player that went undrafted, and I really needed those games coming in so I could kind of make a splash and hopefully make an impact and make a team and get more film out there. We don't have that film this year, but I feel like the cream always rises to the top, and the good players will always either find a home here or find a home somewhere. So they just need opportunity.
How would you like to see the preseason going forward? What would you like to see it constructed as?
I can't control that, but I'm all for football games, so I don't care. Let's play football.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Danny.
Appreciate it, guys. Good to see you.
Thanks.
I'm just wondering the relationship you had with Coach Coombs. How much did that lead to you coming to Detroit? And I guess what is that relationship like from Cincinnati?
I was with Combs for 3 years in Cincinnati. That played a lot with me coming over. I wanted to come over, especially with a guy I already was familiar with. And then just adding on that, Coach Patricia was a Super Bowl coach. So, that was an easy decision.
And we kind of know the special teams resume, but we've really seen you make a ton of plays in practice, getting your hands on balls defensively. What do you think you could bring to this team as a cornerback or a nickelback?
I feel like I can bring a lot to the team, but I do what I'm asked to do. Whatever they feel I can do or want me to do, I'm willing to do it.
Mike Rothstein.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Thanks for chatting with us. Curious when you feel like maybe you got comfortable this camp, because it seems like maybe like the last 3 or 4 days you've been around the ball a lot.
Learning the system. So, yeah, I'm starting to pick it up a little bit more, understanding what they're asking me to do and the coverages or, whatever. So I'm definitely picking it up, and, it's becoming a little easier to me, starting to slow down a little bit.
Was there a day that really you feel like started to happen for you, or a moment or a drill or anything like that?
I think it was I think it was either 3-on-2 competitive or 2-on-2 competitive. I think that was like the day I really started to get going.
Is that, just to follow up really quick, was that was the day when you had basically where the defense was basically losing every rep, and then okay.
Yeah, that was the day.
I think you had 4 pass breakups that day. Like,
I did.
Were you just seeing it really well, or?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just that feeling. Like I was just in the right places, like doing what they were telling me, coaching me to do, and I just tried it, and I ended up being in the right spots every time. So it worked out for me.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Go Justin again.
I mean, you did mention picking up the scheme and getting familiar with the scheme. How different is this coverage scheme versus what you were doing in Cincy?
Some stuff is similar. It's little tweaks in here and there, but like the the coaching, like they want you to, you gotta win what they tell you to do. So I just erased it, did exactly what they told me to do, and I just it fell in place for me. I know it sounds crazy, but it did.
And when you do have a practice like that, when you're breaking up passes left and right, how much can you build on that? I mean, how much confidence does that give you going forward to the next day or through the rest of the week?
A lot of confidence, like definitely help you get going, especially with a new team when I'm trying to feel around and see how everything's going. So that helped me, feel like I'm doing what's right.
You said they told you to do this one thing. You changed this one thing. Was it a footwork thing, an alignment thing? Like what was the tweak that started getting you in the right spot?
Just tighter in my coverage. Getting closer to the receivers, like disrupt, put hands on, simple stuff.
Got time for a few more, guys, if anyone has one. All right. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time. Obviously, the big thing this year is you've made this position switch. Curious how that conversation goes about. Do the coaches come to you? Do you go to them and offer to make that switch? What led to you going from defense to offense this offseason?
Obviously I was able to take some reps, last year during the season, as Nick went down and stuff like that. But in terms of, the conversation and stuff like that, I've always been a team first kind of guy, whatever the team needs. That's kind of type of dude I've always been, just being in position to be ready wherever they're trying to put me. And obviously, nothing's necessarily set in stone. I could be playing offense, I could be playing defense. But I'm really just in a position where wherever I'm needed, that's what I'll do. And I just want to win. So whatever helps the team win is what I'm here for.
We've seen this in Detroit before a couple years ago. Linebacker Nick Ballore moved to fullback and did it pretty successfully. Why do you think there's a natural transition there, and does it kind of satisfy that need at your position to hit people?
Yeah, well, I think it helped last year being able to take some reps, in practice and a couple in game, obviously. But I mean, yeah, I think it's definitely a simpler position than most offensive positions, being that, you kind of just have your guy, go hit him, go do what you got to do. But, it's a gritty position. There's no doubt about that. You got to be in the trenches. You got to go out there and block and make holes and make some catches in the flat and kind of make plays as you can. So, I'm excited about whatever is in front of me right now.
Let's go Dave next.
Hey, Jason, thank you for the time today. I wanted to ask you this, I guess, since you are essentially learning a new position, even though you did play it last year some. What do you think players have missed out on by not having preseason games, or are they still getting the same looks, the same reps, the same everything, I guess, that you would had you had 4 games?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been tough. This coronavirus, the whole pandemic has affected everybody tremendously. Obviously not having OTAs and having those reps. I think really that's what it comes down to is reps for guys. It's tough. We try and practice to go as full speed as we possibly can and do those kinds of things, but it's not easy to completely emulate what a game is going to be like in game situations. So in terms of not having preseason games, that's probably where it hurts most, is having true game-like looks and game-like situations. But, we obviously do our best here to simulate all those things so we can be best prepared for week 1.
I know you guys adapt to anything, but, if you had your way, what would the preseason look like going forward? 4 games, 2? Do you like it with no games? How would you sort of structure the preseason?
I don't necessarily think that having no games is a good idea, but definitely at least 2 games, for sure. I think you got to understand, there's guys on the roster trying to make the team. I think it's a great opportunity for those guys to show out and show what they can do in live situations. So I think it's very necessary. To a degree, I think it can kind of be unfair for guys who are on the fringe of making the team or not making the team and don't get that opportunity. So it's tough, no doubt. But right now we're living in abnormal times and everybody has to just, adjust on the flow. So.
Thank you.
So Mike Rothstein.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Thanks for doing this.
Appreciate it.
With the position switch, what was it like running a route and running routes? Because I'm guessing for you, that's probably the most foreign part of all of this, right?
Yeah, probably. I haven't played offense since I was in high school. Back then I played running back. And even then, I didn't really run many routes out of the backfield. But I think just from being on the other side of the ball and covering guys, you know, you kind of learn, you know, what kind of movements and how guys move and what they try to do, how they set up routes and stuff like that. And I think, you know, playing on the other side of the ball has given me a kind of a higher level of IQ on how to approach those kinds of things. But I think for the most part, I'm adjusting well, you know, doing my best. I'm trying to get better every day, just like everybody else. So.
When you catch the ball, like the first catch you make, though, is there something that goes through your head of being like, okay, I know I can do that now?
Yeah, I mean, I got good hands. I'm not really, I ain't tripping about catching the ball.
One other thing I had is the Big Ten today. You played at Penn State. The Big Ten seems like they're maybe talking about possibly reversing course as an alum of a Big Ten school. Kind of, what's been your take on everything that's happened, whether they're going to play or not play?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. When I think about it and I think about those guys who, you know, go through an entire offseason, you know, working their butts off and getting their games better so they can go out and show up for the season. I mean, to not have a season or for it to possibly be postponed, I mean, that's super tough. I mean, you're asking guys for 8, 9, 10, 11 months straight to be continually focused and continually to just work their craft and work their craft and work their craft. I mean, it's tough. And you're talking about college kids, you know, there are other distractions. They have school, you know, they have all kinds of things. So that's definitely a really tough thing. I think it was really heartbreaking to hear, honestly, when I heard, you know, Penn State wasn't going to have a season in the fall. I actually didn't know that they were going to reverse course possibly. So that's going to be interesting to watch unfold. But I mean, it's just tough. You know, what does NCAA do? Do they allow guys to have an extra year? Do they not? You know, there's a lot of questions that come with all of this. And I think we're all adjusting and kind of doing our best to do what is fair. But I mean, if they could have a season, I think that would be great because these guys, these kids work so hard. You know, they deserve that opportunity. So,
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
So, Chris and Justin and Ken Brown.
Hey, Jason, thanks for the time. You kind of touched on it, that you played running back in high school, but you didn't just play there. You were a very successful running back in high school, kind of a record-setting running back, I think. So how quickly does it come back to just be in the backfield? And have you asked for a few more touches back there?
It's definitely more natural than I thought it would be. It's been a while, obviously, you know, since college, 4 years, 5 years, probably, maybe more than that. But obviously, back when I did play on offense in high school, I really honestly didn't play much defense. So that really was kind of my natural position. So it feels more natural than I thought it would, you know, being back in the backfield and playing offense again. You know, it's fun. Offense is fun. It's fun to score touchdowns. It's fun to make plays. It's fun to have the ball in your hands. So, I mean, I'm excited. You know, whatever touches I get, I'm going to make the most out of them. That's what I know.
Appreciate it.
Justin?
You just kind of alluded to it there. It's fun to score touchdowns. If you do stick on offense, you know you're going to be kind of the hidden weapon. You don't have any preseason games. When are you going to give thoughts to the touchdown celebration?
Ooh, I haven't just yet, but I'll definitely have some cooked up for y'all when the time comes. That's for sure.
Ken, last question.
Hey, Jace, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. I got a question for you. I always wanted to ask somebody about this. You were featured last year on Hard Knocks and did the whole thing. Was that a positive experience or was it a negative experience? And if you had an opportunity to do it again and it was your choice, would you do it?
That's a good question. I mean, it's tough because when you have Hard Knocks around, you know, there's cameras everywhere, basically all the time, you know, following, all that kind of stuff. It can be a bit invasive at a time, but I think they did a good job of, you know, making sure we were focused. You know, obviously it happens during training camp, so guys are trying to, you know, make the team. You're in a very focused place. I think you kind of just get used to it, to be completely real with you, you know, having the cameras around, all that kind of stuff. You know, it was cool being featured. You know, I always had friends sending me little clips of stuff that they saw on TV. I didn't really get a chance to watch it, but I was watching it through my friends' eyes and stuff that they'd send me when I would come up. But I mean, it's a cool deal, really, you know, cool experience. And my mom ended up being featured on the show a couple of times. The fans loved my mom. She's amazing. So it was overall, it was a cool experience. I'd say it was positive.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank